Welcome back to Tribal Council Final 7. It's been another crazy iSurvivor night. I'm sure in a few days' time you will be happy to not have to sit and live with the pre-live night anxiety every other day. But alas, it's my favorite part of the game. It is endgame. This is where the
It's
rubber
giving very mini vibes, just so you know.
This is where the rubber meets the road. During your interview process, you said end game moves super quickly, and if you're not holding on, may just fall out of the cart. With that being said, we're going to start off this tribal council with a question and answer ceremony. As always, Marcelo.
Yes, I'm first. Hey.
You are first. So I saw you sitting there with glasses on last tribal council. It's sort of like unrelated, but like, was there a reason? Were you trying to portray a certain feeling? Like, or you just it was sunny in your house at night?
No, Sandy, I'm literally in New York City where we don't have trees, so there's no light. I wish I had my glasses with me, but there was so much tea being spilled. And like when you're seeing tea being spilled, like you gotta put on your shades because like the light could break and be shining on you. So I just was watching the action and I wanted to have some fun.
So we are, like I said at the start of this, in the final 7. How is the game amped up in the last 4 or 5 days? Like live night, 3 people go. Live night, 2 people go. Like, where's your head at? How's the last few days been for you?
A roller coaster of emotions because you have no time to really think when you have these like live nights of like, especially that triple, like Sam going, Rachel going, John going, like that happened like literally in a span of 2 hours. Like literally, like you didn't have time to think. So, and tonight it's like, I mean, we would be naive to think that y'all were just sending one of us home. Like now you have to think, like honestly, at this point, like I really hope that the night ends after this because I don't think we all have the mental capacity to do another round of this game. So fingers crossed that that's not happening. But no, it's like information flows. Like I said, kind of a couple of tribals ago, this is a game of telephone. This tribe, like even since the beginning of the game, telephone has been a huge thing in this game, hearing one thing from one person, hearing another thing from another person, who's actually saying it and who's just saying it to say it. And then we don't know what the hell is happening with like, we saw a card played last round. Who knows if a card could be played this round? So our mind is just like constantly in a fight or flight situation because it's endgame and we all want to be the winner of iSurvivor season 38.
Everybody fighting for that crown here. Immunity challenge just finished. You did pretty decently. However, not safe enough. You didn't get the win. How important is immunity at this point in the game? We're going to be down to 6 here after this vote. How important is it to win these challenges and situate yourself accordingly to be able to win these challenges?
It's very important. Immunity is your saving grace in this game, especially when numbers get to dwindle down and we're literally going to get to a certain situation where it's 6 people and we started this game with 6 people in our OG tribe. So we all know the stress of like focusing on what's going to happen next. So immunity is always important in this game. Immunity is literally what gives you life to go to the next round.
Thank you, Marcelo. Best of luck in the vote.
Thank you.
Brandon, you were safe at the last vote. Unfortunately, the game moved so quick that you really couldn't even enjoy it for fucking 2 hours. How important or what have you done to make sure that it's not you in the last 30 minutes?
I mean, there's no guarantee that I have done enough. And that's the case, I think, for literally everyone in the game who doesn't have immunity. You hope that what you're doing says more than what you're saying. And so I feel like the way I've been playing this game since the merge is do what you say. There was a lot of fireworks last tribal, I guess. And I I feel bad because I'm usually not confrontational like that. I usually do a better job of holding my tongue. And so it was important to me that like I addressed that directly with Tim, which I was glad we had the opportunity to do that. So thank you for getting on call again with me, Tim. I know you didn't have to do that. So yeah, that being said, like I'm hoping that my actions and my follow through with what I say that I've done this entire game is enough that people can see where I'm at and trust that and hopefully want to work with me moving forward.
Do you feel like because there was a bit of a back and forth at the last tribal council, it did get sort of heated? I mean, I've seen worse, but it was kind of one of the more heated moments we've seen at tribal council here at the merge phase. Do you think that puts a target on your back for this vote?
There's no way it doesn't. There's no way it doesn't. Like anytime chaos ensues, anytime drama occurs between people, anyone who's not directly involved benefits from that because it automatically draws the spotlight somewhere else. So I'm concerned, like you can never be comfortable. You never think that the votes are not going on you. So I'm just hoping that not a majority of the votes go on me. So here's hoping, but I guess we'll find out in like 10 minutes.
Juan, at the last tribal council, you played the Perla Idol. How are you feeling? Sort of like the same question with Brandon in terms of confrontation, replace confrontation with playing the idol. Do you think that that makes you a target here at the final 7?
I don't think it should because the idol was played. That's gone. It's out of the question. And it was basically a play to make sure that, you know, people were doing what they told me. And it was just to protect myself. And I've said what I had to say and done what I had to do. I don't think people realize that, again, even at final 7, this game is as open as it can be. I think thinking one way, especially at this moment, is dumb, and just assuming that things will happen or what I would do isn't the best, because again, I'm me. I have to make my own decisions in this game, and if you give me that chance to do that, then you'll see. But I've said what I had to say to people, and I hope that people realize that if I leave now, what does that leave you next round?
Is there anybody specific that you're pitching that to? Because, you know, like, does that statement work universally for anybody left in the game?
I guess it just depends on where you think you are in the game. Again, if I'm perceived to be with certain people, then you have to realize only one person wins this game. I can't be like, hey, let's get 2 crowns. Let me split the shit in half and do it. So it can go universally, but I feel like people, if you understand what I'm saying, you know that if I leave, you're just going to be a target next, and it's going to be Swift. And it's dumb to think that that's not going to happen, because what is getting me out right now? What does that do?
Thank you, Juan. Best of luck in the vote. Mona Lisa.
Why do I get chills down my spine when you specifically say my name? But go ahead.
I didn't want to save you for last. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling just as apprehensive as I was last round and the triple and every tribal council I've been to this season. Because this game has not been for the meek. So it's like, yes, you can think that everything's going to go the way you think it's going to go, but every time has been a new surprise. So I've just I prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
What is the most difficult part about this game? Is it the twists that the bunker brings? Is it the caliber of players that we decided to cast this season? Mix of both?
I think definitely paralleling the two, it's definitely a mix of both. Like the caliber, like this is definitely giving all stars. It's giving game changers, like not even all stars. It's giving game changers vibes. Like everyone came to play, everyone has their foot in it, and everyone is going for blood. So honestly, at this point, I'm proud of the game. Like if I go home today, like I'm very like, bitch, I battled with the best of them, and we all went the fuck in, and that's what the fuck happened. So that's where I'm at.
Best of luck in the vote, Mona.
Thanks.
Robin.
Hello.
So if you look around, we have Sam, Rachel, John, Julia, and obviously Sheed and Thomas will be probably watching this back to get a glimpse as to what happened tonight. But I should have counted. I don't know. We've been sending so many people to the jury that I lost track. But at this point, it's like the jury is just about to outweigh how many people are left in the game. Does the jury, does the growing jury play a factor into how you play this game, especially towards the tail end of it?
Yes, it does, because I'm looking at who's going into the jury. I'm thinking, you know, where do the votes lie? Are these certain people that go into the jury, are they going to vote for me? Do they think who can I sit next to that will make these certain people vote for me? And yeah, it's just all these intrusive thoughts that have been in my head about this jury. I don't know. And I also have a thing of like outside friendships in this game, which like I don't know everyone's relationships prior to this. So I think that's the most difficult part about like trying to figure out where the jury is going to vote. Because like you could play the best game, but if you're sitting next to someone who has the most friends, or is like friendships going to come into that and they're going to vote for their friends, or are they going to legit like go based off the game? So
at this point in the game, heading into the final six, you mentioned something about it earlier in your question. I mean, in your answer, do previous friendships affect how you mitigate through this? I know you said that you don't know them all, but if there are previous relationships here at the final seven, if you're not in them, you're on the outside of them. Does this play a factor in how you maneuver?
yeah, like I said, I don't know everyone's previous relationships. I only know maybe of a few just because I've seen like them in minis or like other games. But yeah, it does play a factor because I'm like, I don't know, did you betray someone in the last game and now you're trying to make it up? So like you're working with each other in this game, or is it like that person you worked with and now you want to snake them? So there's all these thoughts in my head, and I'm just like, it's been overwhelming for me because I've never made it this far in a game. So like thinking about the long term right now, or like what's legitimately the best option for me in a final three situation, it's a lot.
Best of luck in the vote tonight, Robin.
Thanks. You don't want to know how I'm gonna vote next.
Yes. Tim.
Hello.
So sort of on the same par as Brandon, you definitely spoke out and stated how you felt from your vantage point in the last tribal council. You're still here, you fought for immunity, didn't win, but do you think that you speaking out last tribal council, did it improve your standing or did it hinder where you could have gone?
I honestly think that I would have been in the same position had I not spoken up. But I think that speaking up just shows that I am playing my own game and that I'm not following anybody else's game. And that if I have a problem with something, I'm going to say it.
What have you done? Because you did get your name written on a few parchments last tribal council. What have you done during the strategy discussion time to ensure that Tim is here at the final six?
Oh my gosh, literally just talk to everyone. Like, try to find out where everyone is heads at, even though no one wants to literally say what they're going to do for sure. So I'm really worried tonight, but it is what it is.
And Maddie is not here. He's on a plane. Congratulations, Maddie, on immunity. And Yeah, you ain't going anywhere. Congratulations on the top 6. Now it is that time of trouble, council. One of you are about to become the new Sam, the new Rachel, the new John, the new Julia by being crowned the next juror. So if you feel like that is you, this is your last opportunity to state your case. Floor is yours. All right, with that being said, it is time to vote. I need you to make your way over to your Discord confessionals, type the name of the person you want to see written on the parchment, and once I'm done tallying, I will be back to reveal. I have the votes. If anyone is in possession of a power card or a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now is your time to do so.
You know, when you hear the word "for,"
I do.
realize that this is for nothing. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
I'll read the votes. First vote, Tim. Juan. It's one vote Tim, one vote Juan. Juan. It's 2 votes for Juan. Next vote, Tim. We are at a tie. 2 votes Tim, 2 votes Juan. Next vote. Tim. We're at 3 votes, Tim, 2 votes, Juan. Next person voted out by Survivor Milan, 7th person in our jury. Tim, you can unmute. Say your goodbyes, bud.
It was fun. Thanks for letting me play, everyone. Robin, Juan, you guys are just letting Brandon and Marcelo win the game. So good job, guys. That's all I have to say.
Tim, we weren't friends, but I've known of you for like a decade. And the fact that your application came strolling into my email, I was kind of floored. You were almost like an auto cast. It's been a pleasure watching you play this game and giving it your all, fucking playing challenges and tribal councils from work. That stuff does not go unnoticed. It shows us your commitment. And as a production team, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Tim, it was a pleasure. I will say I was one of your biggest supporters pregame, fighting for you to get in. So you did not disappoint. So great job. I want to tell you, we share placement buddies in iSurvivor. So thanks for sharing that with me.
Tim, unfortunately tonight, the tribe spoken. Time for you to go. Top 6. In Survivor, you try to cross your T's, you try to dot your I's, you try to plan ahead for moves that you could possibly make. This season, unfortunately, you can't plan for everything. And for some of you, it's going to be too late. Drew?
I know you always love hearing from me when we get to this point. I know no, you don't want to hear this news, Brandon? Well, you're going to hear it anyways. So, been talking about 4 for a long time now. We talked about the birds. We talked about Edna. We talked about the crossroads. We talked about the bees, I think, or the fireflies. We talked about the clock. Well, I hope you all have put it together, because Thursday is our last 2 eliminations, because we are having a Final 4 this season. Edna wanted to start with the Final 4, and the Final 4 of you will each represent a stone that Edna will dish out to you going into the finale. One of you will represent Amethyst, one of you represent Zafiro, one of you represent Perla, and one of you represent Rubino. I forgot what the meanings are behind them right now. I don't have it, but that is correct. We are doing a Final 4. So now that you know that, that's for you to discuss how you're going to plan your end game, because Thursday is our final 2 immunity challenges, and then we will be with 4. That has never been done before that I'm aware of. So you get to be a first, so at least here for I1. So good luck, y'all, and you're going to need it.
Thank you, Drewski. Yeah, that is that. This season, you don't just have to beat one person. You're not going to bring a GOAT to the final 3, so you just have to beat one person. This season, you need to have the best jury relationships, and you need to have played the best game.